The first step for poker after dark would be to change clothes in your car, because you don't want your boss to see you change it and ask where you're going, all that good stuff, and wonder why you're all tired tomorrow. I forgot my poker hat, but I do have an outfit for success today. It's going to be a good night down at Evansville Tropicana, where they're having a high hand promotion every other hour or so. It's $200 for the high hand of the night. We'll get more into that later. I didn't mention that work is 2 hours away from the Trop. Right now I'm 1 hour deep, halfway through the drive. All I can see is trees and fields and trees and fields. So as I'm driving, I start to think about poker and what hands am I going to play, what I'm going to do in certain situations. I'm totally kidding. I just sit here and rock out to different music. Usually it's old 90s hip-hop, because that's where it's Alright, just past mile marker 40. When I pass mile marker 40, that means I'm 40 minutes away from the Trop, and that's when I call in the poker room and get my name on the list. That usually puts me at the top. Another thing about the mile markers, all this drive, is it counts you down. That's how long it's going to be till I get there. You gotta stare off in the distance, like look at that cow's ass, look at that house, look at that light pole, anything but mile markers. Don't look at the mile markers. It'll drive you insane and make this drive take, well, the drive will take the same amount of time, but it's gonna make you seem like it's taking a lot longer. Pro tip. Seriously, just about missed my exit. Last second swerve. That would have topped off an already long day if I would have daydreamed for another hour. Who knows when I would have realized it. But I made it. It's all good. I don't even know where to begin. I wasn't going to record anything else since I failed to give you any content of the game. Just not used to it. It's what I want to do. I have to think about it all the time. I think about vlogging for the last 7 years and just don't do it. I've thought about some poker journals and vlogs, and I just don't do it. So it's hard. I'm going to try to do better. So I buy in for 300, which is the max of 1-3 no limit down there. And things just suck from the get-go. The first dealer doesn't know what's going on. She holds up the game to say, you can't be on your phone, and just sits there until so-and-so gets off their phone. You go ahead and deal around, and the person puts up their phone before they even look at their cards. It delays the game way too long. And then we had a dealer who kept wanting to show the rabbit, man. Nobody asked. He just kept flipping it over and showing everybody, oh, look, this is what would have happened. That was absurd. And then the high hand promotion that I'll go in on later. It's no big deal, but just kind of crappy, I think. Anyhow, so I fail at poker tonight. I failed big time. You know, first act I get ace king and limp in. Who knows how many people? Six people limped in. And the flop is king, queen, 9. And one guy bets, everybody calls. You know, I'm just playing the dang limping game at this point. How ridiculous. And called the guy down, and of course, why is my phone fuzzy? Of course he had queen nine, he flopped 2 pair. That's what I get. Next hand I'm big blind, pocket jacks, I raise, small blind calls, button calls, not in that order obviously. And ace king 10 is the flop. I call the guy all the way down because I'm a sucker tonight. He has ace some crap, I don't even know. And a couple hands later, this is all during a time when there's a talker. And it's not just a talker, it's one of the worst talkers. This guy, he had an opinion and knew everything about everything, and he was talking loud over the table, and I let it get to me. I usually don't tilt or let things get to me, but I just wasn't there tonight. I don't know. Anyhow, I flopped 2 pair, ace 3 suited, you know, what, and get called down to a guy who gets a flush on me. So right away, I'm down to 35 bucks. At that point, I thought about coming, taking a break, talking to the phone, camera, you guys, whatever. But just didn't have it in me. I thought about leaving. I thought about taking a walk of shame and getting some more dough and rebuying. But instead, I sat there with 35 bucks, which is probably the least EV play that you can do because you're not getting anything. And whoops. So I get aces. First act, I go all in for 35 bucks. And talker calls and another guy calls. I don't even know what the run out was, but I tripled up. 105, I think, is what I came out with. Somewhere around there. Anyhow, and then about an hour later, I get kings and talkers raises, and I go all in for 150. Something crazy, and he's like, well, I'm either leaving or staying to play, which is the stupidest thing. He calls me a king-queen offsuit. Whatever, dude. Get out of here, thanks, and I'm back to even. What a roller coaster. I don't know. And then the high hand promotion stuff happened where it says, I'll show a chart of it, but it says deuces, 3 of a kind deuces or better, both hole cards must play. It's a high hand for an hour, and it's a $200 prize, which down there is a lot of the guys double their buy-in, you know, they all short stack it. So 200 bucks is a lot. Well, someone gets, I think the board ran out queen queen and a bunch of rags, and she had ace queen. Boom, that's 3 of a kind queens, and her ace played. Both hole cards played. But the floor guy on duty was, I believe he was a temp guy filling in for the real poker floor guy who was on break. And he said it doesn't count. He said it had to be a pocket pair, which on the chart it shows, hey, if you get quads, it has to be a pocket pair to qualify. But it doesn't say anything like that for other situations. You know, flush, straight, you're not gonna have a pocket pair. Full house, you might. Anyhoozle, he doesn't let it fly. No big deal because trip queens isn't gonna hold up as a high hand of the hour. But man, if that were me and it held up, and I would cause the biggest scene ever for $200 measly dollars. So I played crap poker, basically. I don't know. You know, I climbed all the way back up, down 265, climbed all the way back up to even. I think I was up to 350 at one point, and I just played crap poker after that even. I limped. Hardly ever had anything worth raising, but I just limped everything, man, and didn't catch any hands, and I left down 205. So I have 2 sessions of 200 and change in a row, and then 1 session of 200 and change dropped. And it happens to be the session where I start figuring I'd vlog. Yeah, sure, I'll vlog. I'll talk about this crap. When it comes down to it, I'm an amateur. I play 1 tournament a month if I can. You know, whether it's a World Series circuit or going to Vegas once a year, or some of these small tournaments at the local casinos. And local for me is 1.5 hours to 2 hours. And play cash every now and then when I have a free night. But now I'm trying to pick it up, ramp it up. I've been playing cash 1 night a week. Being busy with beautiful wife and 2 kids, I don't get to get out much. So as much as I'd like to play poker, but that 1 day a week is a huge step up. It'll give me a gauge of what I can and can't do from here on out.
Suck at poker, I suck at poker, I suck at poker, I suck at poker. Oh,
That's the morning chant the day after a loss.
the 45-cent coffee here at work reminds me that I suck at poker. Got a pair of aces with a wild card. What's the wild card? It's a joker, which is ridiculous because there is no joker.
I suck at poker, I suck at poker, I suck at poker.
I suck at poker.